1, 2, 3, let's go.
Wednesday afternoon. Oh.
And now we have the mobile phones. We can't do without it, So I think the VAR is sort of grown on us, hasn't it? Now, players with jewelry that cannot be removed from their body will be forced to tape up the area to reduce injury risk. So players with jewelry, what we thinking?
They do that anyway, don't they? You see them, their rings, a red wedding ring or whatever ring, they're taped round. And I think they tend not to wear bracelets or watches, but I don't see too many with studs in their faces, that sort of thing. But I thought is that a new rule, are you saying? Because I thought that applied anyway.
Well, that's one of the FIFA new rules for 2026 World Cup.
I'm surprised.
I thought it was already part of it, You don't usually see players with like jewelry on anyways.
No. You would think that was common sense, wouldn't you? But then when you're getting players coming from places like, I don't want to mention any country, but when you see players coming from countries that's never been in the World Cup, that's never really, maybe football is not really their country's thing. Like India, for instance, if they'd qualified and they want to wear their jewelry, I think they have to be reminded of these rules. So maybe that's what they do.
There are times where some players forget they've got a ring on or they've got a necklace or something. It happens, But, I don't know. I wouldn't think a lot of players are getting studs in the eyebrows or their lips or their nose or something.
Nose rings and things, yeah.
Unless, of course, maybe they generalize in the women's football as well.
I'm gonna say if it's for the women, I would.
Yeah. Maybe they generalize in it for the women's football. Now, penalties in 5 World Cups between these two players, Ronaldo and Lionel Messi. Now it says Ronaldo has had 3 penalties awarded to him in 5 World Cups, as against penalties in the World Cup in 2022 alone. World Cup 5 for Lionel Messi. Is there a sort of a discrepancy here?
Of course. I've always said before, Argentina is backed by FIFA all the way. Literally in that World Cup, Messi scored with a goal with his hand. And it was against Netherlands. Van Dijk saw it. He literally said, he scored it with his hand. And they said, oh, no, it's a goal. And his face, when I think we're all who was watching it were like, what on earth is going on here? Even you could see it all over Van Dijk's face. He was like, well, this is rigged. This is completely rigged. Thankfully, they came back. They got the goal. But let's say they didn't get that goal. And because of that one handball goal that Maradona did previously.
Yeah, Maradona as well, yeah.
Imagine, because of that goal that stood, because of that hand.
Yeah.
What would have happened then? It wouldn't have been fair to Netherlands at all because of what? Because he's Messi. Oh yeah, it's Messi, it's a carry, just let him go. That's not fair. Because there are other players who would get off with just the tiniest bit off, let's say it touched the shoulder and goes, oh no, it's handball, sorry, you can't do that. It makes no sense. Why is there more rules for, let's say, Messi than there is someone else? And how they're getting these penalties and stuff like that, especially during the World Cup that time. It happened with us against it was Argentina versus Croatia, and Livakovic stood his ground, stopped the ball, but because he was that strong, physically, he stopped. I can't remember who it was. I think it was Alvarez, and Alvarez went straight into him and said, "Oh yeah, that's a penalty." How is that a penalty? Because you stopped a player. Yeah, the ball wasn't even going in the net anyways. Livakovic is a goalkeeper. His whole point is to stop the ball. Fair enough, he did.
Say hello to old Mimi, Dr. Gladys and Rose, 3 beautiful ladies who join us on our shows. There's one other bro, sometimes joins us on the show.
Stop the ball. Fair enough, he didn't. I think he got a few little fingertips to it, but because he's a strong guy and Alvarez fell to the floor. it counted as a penalty. So this is why I'm saying these things need to be, further investigated. Or if it's not getting investigated, you know why it's not getting, because it's corruption. Again, I'll keep saying there is corruption when FIFA is involved, because it makes no sense.
Yeah. Just briefly, bro. What do you make of that?
Yeah, I mean, I agree with that, and I think in a way it brings into focus another element of this, that's talking about the game Tony mentioned before, where the ball had clearly gone out, but it wasn't adjudged to have been out, and it resulted in a goal, which in turn resulted in one team not being actually in the final. Now, what that to me brings into focus is, and it's not just football, I guess you could say it's the same thing in life, where such a catastrophic mistake is made on the football pitch, and by catastrophic I mean a manifestly wrong decision, something's been missed by the linesman or the ref or whatever, and that has resulted in something catastrophic, like a team not actually getting to a tournament like the World Cup, the Euros, or you could actually argue domestically, a team is relegated from, say, a division because of a completely wrong decision, an error, be it by VAR or the ref or the linesman. Should there be some sort of fail-safe or fallback system which says in such circumstances, and I guess you'd have to outline what they must be, they've got to be pretty extreme, as we said, relegation or not qualifying for something, then should there be a fallback system which says we'll replay that game?
100%.
In other words, or do we simply say the rules are sacrosanct in life, the laws of the land, we can understand that, but again, in the laws of the land, if someone is, I don't know, caught for speeding, and this does happen, and then it turns out the cameras or the policeman with the camera, actually it wasn't properly calibrated, people get an appeal and they can be let off of that, quite rightly so. And I just wonder if there should be something along those lines in football, that where something is so clearly wrong and it has a strong detrimental effect on a team or a player who gets sent off, say, then, in football, in the Premier League, the remedy is if someone gets sent off and then it turns out on review they shouldn't have been, they get an apology. Well, that's no good, is it, really? Because that's not going to change anything. You could argue if it was a significant sending off, then maybe the game should be replayed. So that's all I'm saying, that maybe such mistakes, because it's so unfair on the team that suffers or the player that suffers, maybe there should be something in extreme circumstances you can replay the match, but that's just a personal view.
Yeah, maybe a deduction of point or something. But anyway, this is all we've got time for in this segment of the football referee. Do you want to conclude for us, Tony?
Well, this is the end of the first segment. Stay tuned for the second segment coming up very soon. I am Tony the Enforcer, and they call him Bruv.
I'm Trevor Gear, and he calls me Bruv.
And I'm Emmy Hikins, and they call me Cuz. Cuz, yeah. Right.
Yeah, that's right.
So I'll see you in the second segment.
See you in a minute.
We'll get it right sometime.
Say hello to old Mimi, Dr. Gladys and Rose, three beautiful ladies who join us on our shows. There's one other bro, sometimes joins us on the show.